The government and the Netra Bikram Chand-led Nepal Communist Party struck a three-point agreement yesterday, less than 48 hours after the two sides had come up with their respective talk teams. The agreement has paved way to the lifting of the ban on the former underground outfit, leading their way into mainstream politics. The hasty deal has also given way to speculations that the development is just a part of the ongoing horse trading in the national politics. Good morning, I'm Abhyuday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. The government and the Chand-led Nepal Communist Party strike a three-point agreement. Ban on the Chand group lifted. Details of the agreement to be announced later today. Nepali Congress and the Dahal Nepal faction work out an alliance against the Prime Minister. The faction appeals to Federal Parliament Secretariat to nullify the Premier's activities. Three powerful earthquakes hit the coast of New Zealand, triggering tsunami warnings that were later lifted. And Chelsea defeat Liverpool by a solitary goal in the English Premier League. Liverpool suffered their fifth consecutive loss at home. The government and the Netra Bikram Chand-led Nepal Communist Party reached a three-point agreement yesterday. The cabinet also lifted the ban imposed on the underground outfit yesterday evening. The agreement with an underground outfit previously banned by the KP Sharma Oli administration has sent quite a few ripples in the national politics. We have more in this report.
Prime Minister and the ruling party chairman KP Sharma Oli has been adopting a defensive strategy in the party and the parliamentary politics. In the meantime, the Oli administration has skillfully managed to bring the Chand-led group into the mainstream politics within 48 hours after both the sides had announced their talks team. Following the several rounds of talks held in Balwatar since Wednesday morning, the Chand group agreed to seek a solution to all political issues through dialogue and carry out peaceful political activities. Likewise, the government also agreed to lift the ban on the group, release political prisoners and dismiss cases against them. Issuing a joint press statement after the agreement, both the teams informed that Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and General Secretary Netra Bikram Chand of the group will address from a common forum in the early afternoon on Friday. The teams were engaged in two rounds of talks on Wednesday at the Prime Minister's official residence in Balwatar. Sources have claimed that Minister for Water Resources Mani Thapa had initiated the talks with the Chand-led Nepal Communist Party as he had visited the Nokku prison in the capital to hold meetings with the jailed leaders of the group 2 months ago. It may be recalled that the government had banned the group on 12th of March 2019 following a series of blasts in the country. Despite its strategy to wage a Maoist-like warfare, the group was not able to gain the desired public support and was compelled to seek a safe landing. Meanwhile, the hasty agreement has led political analysts to suspect of power politics in the ongoing politics of horse trading.
The main opposition, Nepali Congress, and the Pushpa Kamal Dahal Madhav Kumar Nepal faction of the Nepal Communist Party have worked out a possible alliance against Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. The Dahal Nepal faction claimed that the two sides have come close to an agreement to table a no-confidence motion if Premier Oli would not step down by the time the parliament meeting convenes. It may be recalled that Nepal Communist Party Chairman Pushpa Kamal Dahal publicly called Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuba as the future Prime Minister. However, Nepal Communist Party, Nepali Congress and Janata Samajwadi Party are seeking common grounds before finalizing the no-confidence vote. Meanwhile, the meeting of the office bearers of Nepali Congress has started legworks on forthcoming strategies and formation of a new government with the no-confidence vote looming against Premier Oli. The party will clear its stand after holding the office bearers meeting and the parliamentary party meeting. Even as both the factions of the Nepal Communist Party have separately urged Nepali Congress to form an alliance with them, the main opposition is yet to make its stand clear. According to sources, the Dahal Nepal faction and Nepali Congress have reached a near deal on an alliance to lead the new government. Meanwhile, the Dahal Nepal faction of the Nepal Communist Party has appealed to the Federal Parliament Secretariat to nullify Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's activities in the name of leaders of the Parliament Secretariat. The Dahal Nepal faction filed a document at the Parliament Secretariat yesterday stating that Premier Oli's activities concerning leaders of the party would be unauthorized. The Central Committee meeting of the Dahal Nepal faction on 3rd of February had removed Premier Oli from party membership as well. Leaders of the faction, Dev Gurung, Surendra Pandey, Pampa Bhusal, Dinanath Sharma and Jivan Ram Shrestha reached Singhadarbar yesterday and informed that Prime Minister Oli has been released from his responsibilities. Dahal made an appeal through a 4-point document urging not to accredit the Premier's actions on behalf of party leaders. The government has projected a negative growth rate for the last fiscal year. The Central Bureau of Statistics yesterday projected a negative growth rate of 1.9%. The government had set a growth target of 8.5% in the last fiscal year. The Central Bureau of Statistics, however, had projected a growth rate of 2.7% due to the lockdown period till mid-May last year, saying that the COVID-19 pandemic had derailed the country's economy. The economy is estimated to have turned negative by 15.4% in the fourth quarter of the last fiscal year alone. The Central Bureau of Statistics has changed the base year in the statistics calculations. Earlier, the year 2000-2001 was considered as the base year. However, this time around, 2010-2011 is considered as the base year. According to the Central Bureau of Statistics, the change in the base year could also result in negative growth. The Bureau estimates that the economic growth in the first quarter of the current fiscal year will be negative by 4.6%, informing that the economy is now returning to normalcy with decreasing impact of the pandemic. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the local residents in Bhutan what should be done to control wildfire. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
चेतनाको स्तर तलसम्म पनि पुर्याउन सक्यौं भने यसलाई नियन्त्रण लागिसकेपछि नियन्त्रण गर्नुभन्दा पनि लाग्नबाट जोगाउन सकिन्छ।
बढेर नियन्त्रण गर्नलाई पब्लिक अवेयरनेस चाहिन्छ हैन। यहाँका जनताहरूलाई वन जंगलको इम्पोर्टेन्सहरु पहिला बताउनु पर्यो।
वनकै वक्ताहरुमा चाहिँ एउटा चेतना चाहिँ अझ वृद्धि हुनुपर्छ।
घाँस दाउराको लोभले पनि लगाउने काम गर्नुहुन्छ, त्यहाँ उलाई चाहिँ चेतनामूलक कार्यक्रम दिएर उरेर चाहिँ रोकथाम गर्न सकिन्छ।
And it's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. And here's the question. What's your take on the agreement struck between the government and the Chand Group? Your options are A, peace should prevail, B, compulsion, and C, political gambits. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And that's all for the moment. Keep watching Kantipur Television HD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.